Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for!
DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Feel the heat.
Hold on. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning and a warm welcome once again on Galaxy Universal Network, Channel 500 on StarSat, and this is Pan African Morning.
Hi, Sudi Melang. This is still Pan African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And of course, we are fearless, zero favor and zero fiction.
Warm welcome to Galaxy Universal Network, Channel 500 on StarSat.
Catch the Pan African Morning Queens, Sasanda Kwabikuto and Balisa Muchiminyani every weekday at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on Galaxy Universal Network, Channel 500 on StarSat. Catch us on all our social media platforms. It is Galaxy Universal Network on Facebook, at @gun_TV on Twitter and Instagram. Visit our website on www.galaxyun.tv. You sure don't want to miss out.
China saying that the latest outbreak is under control.
Feel the heat.
The cabinet has decided to ease restrictions on certain other economic activities.
I don't want to be a white person who sits by and does nothing, so that's why I'm here today.
Feel the excitement.
We are here to unite, because what we are fighting for is to stop institutional racism.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Feel the heat.
You said you love me. I do.
You sure?
Yeah. Leave Brown's line. Oh, no, you don't. Get out of my way. Get out. That is an abomination. Oh, the love you promised me.
Do you have a boyfriend? Yeah?
Feel the excitement.
You don't know how I've been longing for this.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning and a warm welcome once again on Galaxy Universal Network, Channel 500 on StarSat, and this is Pan African Morning.
Hi, Sudi Melang. This is still Pan African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And of course, we are fearless, zero favor and zero fiction.
Warm welcome to Galaxy Universal Network, Channel 500 on StarSat.
Catch the Pan African Morning Queens, Sasanda Kwabikuto and Balesa Muchiminyani every weekday at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on Galaxy Universal Network, Channel 500 on StarSat. Catch us on all our social media platforms. It is Galaxy Universal Network on Facebook, at @gun_TV on Twitter and Instagram. Visit our website on www
Hello and good morning and welcome to another episode of Scars right here on Galaxy Universal Network. Untomza Zulu Mariki Boss Mazikli Ntomza KZN, and as usual every Saturday 11 to 12 we bring people to breath from that, but we are so happy that you joined us. If you have joined us on Facebook at Galaxy Universal Network, we say thank you so much for tuning in. Do send your questions during this hour, and if you have any comments as well, do share with us. And today in studio with me I have a very interesting, humble soul, Mr. Martin Manamela. Martin, hi.
Hi, and how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great, and thanks to the viewers as well.
Martin Manamela, I know he's an author, I know he's a speaker, but most of the time most speakers become speakers because of something that they've experienced in their life. I would first like you to use this, to take this opportunity to tell me, who is Martin Manamela?
Look, I hear what you're saying, but with me it's a bit different. Actually, how I started speaking, it was such that people drew it out of me.
Okay.
When you are young from school, you know, you get friends, and then friends, you know, they trust your judgment, they trust whatever it is that comes out of your mouth. And sometimes I remember they'll be discussing some stuff, and they'll just say to me, well, just hold on for a second, let's discuss on our own, and when we're done, then we can call you to just wrap it up for us. Okay. And I guess the confidence grew from there. However, at the same time, the challenge was that where I come from, we were so many. It was, you know, we always talk about poverty, and everybody. It's a common story in an African child. Yes. You know, we all come from poverty backgrounds. But the challenge with us, or the difference here, was at home we were so poor that even poor people called us poor. In a sense that. So what I'm trying to say is that
this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you know, the challenge there was that you know, you are poor, but a poor person, when they look at you, they feel better. Wow. It's like, you know, we are worse than me, so I mean. Wow. You know.
And did you look at people like that?
Well, I looked. No. I couldn't look at them like that because
for you it was normal. I
was at rock bottom, and the rock bottom was normal. You know, so you know, and you find that in the village, because I also grew up in the villages, by the way. So from an urban suburb, I moved from there and went to the rural areas, whereby I grew up with, you know, being a head boy, and my language was different. I was lighter than anybody you can think about in the village. Wow. So therefore they used to call me an albino, you know. Other children after school, they will come, surround at my home, and just, you know, I'll be in the house. My younger sister will call me and come outside. They want to come and see you. And when I start speaking, because I come from, you know, Tswane, so when I start speaking, they laugh at my, you know, the language. They look at me. It's like, you know, it was yeah. So there was more like a zoo at home. They need to come and see this mankinyana that looks different from them, and that challenged me as a young man, because it meant to me that I did not fit in that community, because I didn't know what that means. You know, having people around coming to see you. So I always ask myself, what is different about me? But then they defined it and said, well, you are an albino. I'm like, okay, so that means I'm different. And so how do I fit in? I struggled to fit in, and poverty didn't do any justice to that matter, because then I had to befriend those that had something, so that I can at least, you know, be able to fit in.
And be part of something.
Be part of something. But then you will be a stir boy. You know, we say that in Afrikaans. So I'll be that, whereby they will always send me to do things for them. These are, now there were two friends that I had, but one at home, there was a shop where he comes from, and the other one, everybody at home was working. And I'm coming from a family where no one is working. And on top of that, I used to go at this shop and you know, work there. you know, and they will pay me my salary. By the way, my first salary was bread, a loaf of bread. So after you do whatever, they give you bread. You go home, you're excited. I've got bread.
That you worked and you were able to buy bread.
That was my wage. I got paid. You know, I got paid. I go home with some bread, and I share it with my grandmother, and that was the life. That's how the life started. But then it was quite difficult, I must say.
So, I know in your life's journey, we're going to go deeper into growing up. But I want us to go a bit back into your earliest childhood memories. Yes, so we're talking bullying, basically. You were bullied a lot because you were different. We're talking about not being accepted by society because of your differences. And obviously we know albinos are totally not like you.
Yeah,
they're almost like me, because people think I'm albino.
Yeah.
Especially Masenkulumi Zulu or Makeboa. What are the other challenges you had to face despite poverty and this thing of not knowing where you fit in?
Well, that will go back to being a head boy. It was a common thing in the olden days, whereby the older guys will always whip you for nothing. They will send you to do something, and if you don't do it the way they want you to, then they will whip you for that, and they will tell you, you cannot cry. You cannot tell them at home, because if you do that, you are not man enough. So you learn to internalize pain. You learn to say, well, and of course, I cannot cry because even at home, I'm the only man. So if I cry, who do I cry to? Because I can't tell my grandmother, I can't tell my sisters. These are my cousin sisters now. I grew up with, and I'm the older to them. So if I cry, I only have to tell my grandmother. And I couldn't do that. You know, so my parents were right in, you know, in Pretoria, which is Tshwane, and I'm down there. I will write letters and send to them to say, this place is so cruel, I can't anymore, and all that. But it never worked out that I come back, you know, to live with them. As a result of that, then I just learned the psychology of how to internalize pain and never share it. As a result, then my uncle, unfortunately, came on, you know, into the picture, who used to work in Pretoria, in Gauteng actually, you know, and then he will come back, you know, home once every month. And when he comes back one day, I used to sleep with him, by the way, when he comes back home. So we sleep together in the same bed. One day, he just decided, okay, you know, I'm gonna molest this one. Then he molests me, and I'm like, wow. And I was a virgin. So now imagine how sex is introduced to me now. A lot of confusion, because now I'm thinking, I thought this is done to a woman. Now it's
Why
done
is it
to
being
me.
done to me?
How is this thing done? I'm around 12, 13 at the time. I'm confused. I don't understand what's going on. You know, so the pain is there and all that. So that now challenged me, even when it comes to relationships, because I'll look at a woman and think about the pain that she feels when a man sleeps with her. Because that's how I knew sex. I knew sex through pain.
And through a man.
Through a man.
Having enforced it on you.
Yeah. So
and if I can just intervene there and ask, couldn't you talk to anyone?
Again, remember, I'm trained to say, remember as a herd boy, so I'm trained by the older guys to say, when we whip you, you do not say anything. So that was how I was brainwashed. So I got to know that and understand that. So as a result of that, when this happened to me, the molestation, when it happened, I already knew that obviously this is not something to share, because, and it's a shameful thing. How do you share such? Who do you talk to?
You're a boy of 13, 14.
Yeah, and I cannot talk to
being
my
molested by your own uncle.
Yeah. You know, somebody that's supposed to protect me does that to me. So, and I was still very confused about it. I didn't understand what's going on. But then at the same time, I could not tell my grandmother. I could not tell anybody. The grandmother was the only person I trusted. But then I could not tell her about that. This is his child, by the way. And how is she going to take that from me? How is she going to believe this? And yeah, so I just.
How long did you have to endure this kind of torture?
Well, look, it didn't happen often. It happened once, but then that one time, then I had a cousin who's older than me, who also tried it on me as well. But then at least I was able to fight off. But then it's not about that. It's about the confusion. Because now I'm asking myself, Am I a man or a woman? Why are they doing this? That brought so much confusion into my life that even when I grew up into my 16th and now I'm in puberty stages, I see girls, but then I will propose, but it ends there. We don't have to go into bed. No, we can't go into bed because now I'm thinking I'm gonna give you pain if we go in there.
Wow.
That thing is not nice, so I'm not gonna do that to you. If I say I love you, I can't give you the pain that they gave me.
Because you never understood why it should be the way, or why it was the way it was.
Yeah, and look at this now. You dating somebody who understands that between a girl and a boy, when they date, there's got to be sex. So if you don't do the sex, they're thinking that, no, maybe I'm not sexy enough. Now, you
can't go and explain to them.
No,
that,
I'm not telling them what is happening. I'm just saying, look, I care for you. Sex is not the... I tried my ways, but they will dump me because I'm not sleeping with them, because now it's like, no, but it's like there's something wrong with you. You know, or there is something wrong with me. I'm not sexy enough. You know, I remember some stage I had this woman and she was beautiful. I loved her and all that. We would kiss. In fact, we would kiss to a point of being naked. But I will not penetrate. I will say, no, that's fine. That's how far we can go. Let's dress up. I will even bath because I will feel like I've already had it. I'll even take a bath and say, no, that's how far we can go. So it went on for a long time until one time I sat down. I'm like, so I'm getting in and out of relationships because of this. And this is because of my uncle. Then it means my uncle will control each and every relationship that I have, because it means he's making decisions for me in his absence. It was that time that I realized that, no, you know what, you need to change this, because he cannot have so much power over your life. It happened once, but you are doing
the control.
it. Yeah, the control is happening perpetually like that. So you are doing it to yourself over and over and over again, as you are busy reminded of this thing.
So you relive the molestation
yeah,
on a daily basis, because you're telling yourself, this hurt me and it should be hurting anyone. Wow, what a first part of Scars right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And I'm actually speechless. I've got so many questions, and I'm sure that all the viewers watching us right now have got a lot of questions. And I think it takes a true man to be able to tell the world, especially when it comes to molestation. Men don't want to talk because indoda ayikali. And we are sitting with Martin Manamela right here on Galaxy Universal Network, on StarSat Channel 500, and on Scars. We're going to take a quick ad break. When we come back, I would like to find out from you, Martin, the healing process. And at what point did you decide, you know what, I need to start fixing me? Because obviously at that point you were still blaming yourself for whatever happened, because now you can't go forward in your life. After the break, we'll be back with Martin Manamela. Don't go anywhere.
Feel the heat.
Do you dream of awesome cartoons filled with funny characters who go on extraordinary adventures?
Everybody ready? Ready!
Hold on, I'm coming!
This is absolute genius.
I'm on my way.
I'm ready. Titans, go!
Feel the excitement.
Like it? I love it!
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Welcome back again right here on Scars. Do your scars define your journey? Or do you use your scars to create a future for yourself? Just before the break, Martin Manamela was sharing about his experiences as a child of being treated differently because of his skin color, being too light in the community. He also told us about how the bullying at school by older boys because of being poor, and how even the poor called you poor, and how that was norm. But I think the biggest thing is having you shared that your own uncle, your blood, molested you, and how that affected your relationships going forward. And before the break, I said I wanted to find out from you, till what point did you get to realize that, but I need to heal from this so that my life can actually go forward?
Well, like I said before, it started when I started thinking, good to know, you know what, the honest truth here is that this man did it once and I'm doing it perpetually in my life. So I need to heal myself from that. I need to forgive myself. I need to forgive him. Now, forgiving him was difficult, but it's something that I had to do. And I'll tell you why it was difficult. Because he was never sorry. He was never remorseful about it. And even when we had gatherings, you know, as a family, and we'll be there, and even in my grown-up age, he will still make jokes about me and talk about me that I grew up with his mother, and we were poor, his mother took care of me. He'll just make silly jokes like that.
Do anything to cover up the real
I think
story.
that's what he was trying to do. But then I realized that, you know what, this is who he is. But now, am I going to live under him? Under his, you know, comments about me and this, and am I going to allow him to do that? Because he talks, yes, the way he wants. But I cannot allow that to be me.
But how did it affect you, like every time you have these family gatherings and things, to actually face him?
Look, the only way it helped me was when every time he says, that was my mother who took care of you, and said, I'll go back and say, well, your mother, by the way, happens to be my grandmother, and she's not your grandmother. So I will play around it like that. So, yeah, but it's my mother, yeah, but she's not your grandmother, it's my grandmother. You know, we'll do that. And I'm talking about somebody who's older now.
Much older.
It's not like 10 years old, it's more than that, but we will do stuff like that. And so I did that to try and remove the embarrassment and redirect his, you know, comments about me and stuff like that. And it worked, you know, in my favor. But the biggest thing that worked was, of course, me being able to forgive him. And when I did that, you know, look, it healed me. Number one, I was able now to say, I'm not going to let my molestation, my crisis define me, but it's going to refine me. So I became refined by it, and it is at that time that I started writing books about my experience and started writing books to help other people. And now I opened up and people started coming to me for counseling. I'm a counselor, by the way. So they will start coming to me for counseling and for healing and stuff. That's why I wrote books such as The Incredible Woman, you know, whereby I can explain each and every little thing that women go through, especially when it comes to molestations. But how then can you take your power back as a woman in a relationship and stuff like that? How do you begin to have a voice, you know, regardless of what you've been through, whether you have a child and the man left, whether you've been raped and, you know, you've never talked about it, whatever the case may be, whether you have children and you don't have a job and you have to depend on a man for that, how do you get your power back? So I needed to do that because I went through that, but differently as a man.
But if I can just quickly stop you there and ask you, did you ever face him and tell him, look, you did this to me and I forgive you?
Well, unfortunately, I never did that. But I'll tell you what helped me. I remember he was sick at some stage, and I took care of him. And in taking care of him at that stage and loving him, and taking care was not too long, by the way. You know, it was with a lot of breaks in between. But then there happens a time when I knew that I've really, really forgiven this man when he died. When he passed on, the family, well, they trust me with a lot of organizational skills that I have and stuff like that. So they called me and they told me, and the pastoral side of me came out. And they said, well, but this was your uncle. You'll have to bury him. There's a lot of other older people at home, in the family that could even plan his funeral. But I had to plan his funeral. I have to be in the forefront, plan his funeral, you know, make sure that everything goes well for him and bury him. And make, you know, take money and contribute to his funeral. And that for me, and his children, I needed to bring them together as well and love them as well, you know. And that for me, I was very proud that I did that, by the way.
So as hard as it was kind of like a healing process for you. But when you, for the first time, actually started talking about this and sharing this, how did the family take it? That, look, you kept quiet with such a big bombshell for so many years, number one. And then on top of that, you even take care of him and you bury him without saying a word.
Yeah. Look, the funny part with the family is that I didn't even go to the family and tell them. I opened up like this.
Publicly.
On radio. I was on radio the very first time and I opened up. Some had it, some didn't. And guess what? Till today, they haven't been able to face me and ask me those questions. Wow. They just don't know how to. And I just keep on talking on different platforms about it. But there's no one in the family who has ever been brave enough to ask me. I think they're challenged. They look at how I present it out there and they know how strong am I emotionally as well. So they just don't know how. And I'm not going to go to them and tell them. Because I've already told them in a bigger platform.
I do a lot of prison shows and things, and I found that almost 60% of the men in maximum prison, when they share their life stories with me, it always comes down to some of them that have been physically molested. There's one guy who's out on parole as we speak, who actually went to prison at the age of 14. And he said when he came out, he actually went to his nanny who molested him and actually went and faced her and said, look, you did this to me when I was only a baby, you were my nanny. But this has affected my life so much that I made these mistakes and ended up in prison at the age of 14. What would you say to that man watching the show right now who's been through the same but just never thought he can be able to talk about it?
Well, look, to that man watching us right now, the one thing I can give, the one advice I can give you is that forgiveness is key in everything that you're going to, you know, to go through in life. Because when you forgive, then you are not controlled by the perpetrator. But if you do not forgive and you feel that you have the right to unforgiveness, that person will control you for the rest of your life. Not only do they control you, but they design your emotional state. Which means you end up now hating on other people, or if it's not hating on other people, you want to harm other people. But it's your way of crying, but you are crying doing the same thing that he did. So you are becoming the person. And it's not for you to become the person. It's actually for you to heal the nation with your experience. So this experience has helped me to heal other people. But the unfortunate part is that for most people, I would say you don't have to hate all women because one woman molested you. You don't have to hate all men because one man, you know, molested you or raped you, whatever. No, in fact, that is an experience you need to be the voice of those who are still going through it, who cannot be able to come out. You need to be that voice. If you need to write about it, write about it. If you have to have a show like this, you should have a show about like this. If you need to go to schools and communities and everywhere else and talk, design programs that will help people in your experience. That's how you heal. The more you help other people, the better you feel about yourself.
Wow, what a story. We are still with Martin Manamela right here on Scars on Galaxy Universal Network. And Dr. Martin, so obviously you're sharing there's a lot more that I would like to talk about. I know you've written a couple of books and everything, but later on in the show we'll go into that. But now, as you say, we need to create platforms. Do you believe you were a victim, or you are still a victim of what happened to you?
I would say I was a victim, and the result of why I'm saying that is because I didn't know anything about what was happening. When that happened to me, I didn't understand it. I didn't call it upon myself. I was with my uncle, who's now a father figure that I was sleeping with. And for me, it was protection. I don't have to sleep. I'm sleeping with my father. That's how I saw it. So if he does that, he knows better. I don't know anything. So he does that to me. I'm asking myself questions, but I cannot blame myself. And I realize that most people are even ashamed of it, to come out and talk about this. But you see, the thing is, for you to be ashamed, I cannot be ashamed about something that I did not do to myself.
Powerful.
Yeah, I didn't do that to myself, so why am I ashamed about it? So we get ashamed, and shame will put you in a cocoon. Shame imprisons you, and you'll never come out because you're shameful. But I talk about it, and that's how you take power. The more you talk about it, that's how you take power back. You cannot have power until you talk about it. So some people, I'll only say to people out there that the power that comes with sharing your experience such as this, it's amazing, because now I cannot even count how many people I've helped. Even through my books, I cannot even count. I cannot begin to count. But the biggest thing about it is that it's not theory when I'm sitting down with you and telling you.
It's not like, I always say, it's so easy for people to tell people who have gone through experiences like ourselves.
Yes.
I mean, when I started Scars, the first episode ever of Scars, I shared my life story, which you know. And we who have scars of rape, abuse, neglect, we tend to always blame the past.
Yeah.
And for me, healing for me was forgiving myself for blaming myself. And also realizing that I was not the victim, I was actually the survivor, because victims are the people that are 6 foot underground. Those are the ones that didn't make it. We are now the overcomers and the conquerors, and today we are able to sit on platforms like these and talk on public stages where we say, look, I was raped, I was abused, I was physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever the case is. But look at me, I'm still standing, I'm still strong. And I think the word out there to all the men watching the show, no matter where in the world you are right now, you don't need to be strong. It is okay for a man to cry. We're going to take a quick break, and as usual on Scars, we have an entertainment piece halfway through the show. Then we're going to be back with Mr. Martin Manamela, and we want to talk about obviously, you may be in a situation as a man, no matter what your age, and you just don't know who to trust, you don't know who to talk to. How can they get to the point where they realize, I can actually talk about it? Who can I talk to? If I'm in Nepal right now, if I'm in Kenya, if I'm in Congo, obviously in other countries, men don't get given a platform. Here in South Africa, we may not have as many platforms, but I know there are platforms. And I do believe that we don't always have to go to psychologists, because I don't believe in a psychologist, because unless you have gone through my pain and carried my scars, you will never know the true meaning of what I went through. Yes, we are counselors, we are speakers, but we tell our story, our reality, not someone else's or something we read in books. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're coming back with some music just to lighten up the mood. And then obviously, I would love to know more about your books and more about your journey. Don't go anywhere, right here on Scars, Galaxy Universal Network. Ntombi zamaZulu, ngithanda nonke soba khona la manje.
Feel the heat.
Hold on. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with Starsat. Feel the heat. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Do you dream of awesome cartoons filled with funny characters who go on extraordinary adventures?
Everybody ready? Ready!
Hold on, I'm coming. This is absolute genius.
I'm on my way.
I'm ready. Titans, go!
Feel the excitement.
Like it? I love it!
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Welcome back to another episode on the Scars, right here with me, Marik Bothma Untumza Mazulu. And wow, I can just say what a journey, and what it is such an honor and a privilege to share a stage or a platform with people who talk about their own experiences and not just experiences from other people. So to lighten up the mode, we have a sister Rosalind in the house who will be performing for us. So we're going to go straight over to her right now and her companion to share some music item with us. Don't go anywhere. Wow, what a nice, let's say, just mood breaker and some relief after that intense story that we had. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're back with Martin Manamela. Don't go anywhere.
Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Do you dream of awesome cartoons filled with funny characters who go on extraordinary adventures?
Everybody ready? Ready!
Hold on, I'm coming. This is absolute genius.
I'm on my way.
I'm ready. Titans, go!
Feel the excitement.
Like it? I love it!
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for. DJ Khaled.
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft.
That is nice. How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Welcome back to Galaxy Universal Network on Scars this morning with me, Marike Botma, right here on this beautiful Saturday, 11 to 12, every Saturday. We have just had an amazing first half an hour of our show where Martin Manamela was sharing with us about his experiences as a child. And before we carry on, I would like to thank you for being brave enough. It's definitely not every day that you find a man who's willing to share his life experiences with the world and to actually encourage other men to say, it is okay for you to talk, it is okay for you to cry, it is okay for you to find someone you can talk to or find a platform or a space that will help you start healing. Before the break, I asked you a few questions and I would love to hear from you. What are your answers to those questions?
Can we rephrase the questions, by the way?
The first question was obviously the same thing I'm saying now, that the healing process of using your story, number one, to heal, how it really heals you. And to the people watching out there who don't have anyone to talk to, who do they talk to? How do they reach out? Where do they go to? How did your writing books help you heal?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's in many ways. We heal as people. Remember, as people we are different, so we heal in many ways. One may heal by writing a book. The other might heal by, we just had artists right now singing. They can heal through that. So one of the things that I understand about whatever tragic moment that we ever go through in our lives is that everything that hurts you, it's giving you an opportunity to have strength. So I'm not looking at myself right now as being brave per se, but I'm looking at myself right now as somebody who had a mandate and a purpose for God. And now God, unfortunately, I had to have a serious experience like that in order for me to continue with the purpose that I was born for. I was born to heal. But I can never know the importance of healing until I've been through pain. That's why with Jesus it's the same thing. He was born to rescue us out of but he had to go through some stuff. So every time when you go through some things in your life, it is because you've been called to be the solution to that. When a seed falls from a tree to the ground, right? When it's up there in the tree, it's useless because it's hidden within a seed. But its purpose is found in its falling. So when you fall in life, it's an opportunity for you to grow roots. So
and you need to be watered.
You need to be watered, but guess what? Where are you watered? With mud, with dirt, with all. So now every challenge that you find yourself in is an opportunity for you to grow out of the mud, to use any negativity as manure. I mean, I'm reminded of a story, and I believe this story will help a lot of people. It's a very short story. There was a black man who, went to a white suburb and started living there, but there was a woman next door who never liked that that man. So now what happened was that every day she will throw feces, the white lady will throw feces, into his yard.
Wow, like her human feces.
Look, feces. into his yard all the time, every day. One day that white lady got sick and she was on a deathbed. And this guy went with a bunch of beautiful flowers and presented the flowers and said, you know what, please heal my neighbor. And this lady says, well, let me confess. The white lady confessed and said, you know what, I'm the one who's been throwing feces in your yard. And the man said, but I know. I actually used the feces to grow these roses that I'm presenting them to you today. So I'm just saying that it's a choice. Whatever it is, you don't have to be raped. You don't have to be molested, but you may grow up in a very poverty-stricken environment. You may be being treated bad at work as we speak. You may be being treated bad by family members, or your father might have left you, your mother might have left you. Whatever challenge you can think of, it is necessary for you to look at that challenge and say, wow, God, thank you for trusting me with a challenge that I'm going to use to deliver other people, to help other people. Even if you don't have somebody to talk to, there's radio stations, there's community, there's foundations, there's everywhere. You might not find anybody in the family, and some people will cry and say, but look, I don't even have anyone to look up to around my family, not relatives. I can't find anybody to look up to. You don't have to look, you see, that's being myopic. You don't have to look into your family or relatives. There's a world out there. Even if you cannot find somebody in South Africa or in your country, anywhere, there's somebody in another country. Broaden up your mind like that. Find somebody's story that is similar to you, because your story is not unique.
We are all going through the same, just in different ways.
So crying and playing pity party, there's somebody who's gone through the worst state of their life than yours, but they were able to come out. So you cannot use your story and say, it is because of this that I had to fail. No. People say, it is because I went through fire that I became a better gold with no unwanted particles. So that's how we need to look at life, that positive attitude. And you cannot look into tomorrow. I mean, you know, people say that, I don't know what tomorrow holds. That's a very dark place to live in, that you don't know what tomorrow holds. Tomorrow is held within you. Yesterday has passed, is dead and buried. Tomorrow is still in a womb. You have a choice whether you are going to, birth a beautiful tomorrow or a dark tomorrow. Sure. So I always say to people, look, you can never be featured in a future you do not picture.
Ooh, you can never be featured
in a future you do not picture.
You do not picture.
So until you have it here, you cannot have it tomorrow.
And you just made me think, actually, the day before yesterday, I had a conversation with someone, and I've been saying it lately to a lot of my friends. It just came to me one day, also this tendency of us saying you live once. You don't live once. You live every day. You die once.
Yeah. No, you live, I mean, just in 1 year, in 1 year, you have 365. That is not once. It's 365 days.
But now we live in the mindset to say, I live once.
That's when that's when people want to just go on and do wrong and feel justified for doing wrong. But you see, that's an empty life, because you may look glamorous on the outside, but those people have been dead. They're just like decorated, cemeteries where you find beautiful, stones, right? But inside there's no life. So most people are like that. They look decorated on the outside, amazing on the outside, but they're actually dying on a daily basis.
But
if you can't live for a purpose, you haven't started living.
Do you also believe the way I believe that a person who can come to me and say they've never been a victim of anything, they are lying? Because every human being, no matter what race, no matter what sex, no matter what, we have all been a victim of something.
Yeah, that's why I said that, you know what, it doesn't have to only be molestation. There's different kinds of challenges that we go through, and everybody's crying about something anywhere, somewhere. But you know what gives me the strength? What gives me the strength is that, victim or not, there's someone out there somewhere in the world, just look deeper, who went through exactly what you went through and overcame it. So you have no reason to give up. You have no your challenges can never be a reason where you need to just back down and say, well, I can't because I tried. If you passed your matric, for example, I mean, right now they're about to write, right?
Yeah,
so if you passed your matric and you didn't have money to further your studies, you didn't have money to further, there's something within you that you can do. Throw the pride away. Go out there, do that thing, let people laugh. It's okay. I mean, I told you when we started, I used to work 4 bread as my salary. I then worked for an Indian guy who used to pay me 20 rands. When my friends were going to universities, I was working for 20 rand a day. But all of that helped me to write the books that I was writing, that I've been writing. I mean, I have 9 books today, and I have these books because of the stories that God allowed me to go through in order to be the voice for His people. So He just chose me to just be that voice that He wants to use. And I accepted the challenge, and I said, well, I'll be your voice because I'm not living for myself, I'm living for you. So if you want me to be your story, I'll be a great story. Because I know that you have the pen. At the end of the day, you are the one who's writing the story, and you are my God. And you said you'll never leave me.
You're just using me to inscribe it, but you are the one who's putting... let's go into your stories. I know you've got quite a few stories. We've actually got one of your books here called Failure, Success and You.
Yes.
Every no means next opportunity. What came about the just your heading alone? Failure, success, and you.
There's something common about those 3 words: failure, success, and you. There's one letter that is common there is the letter U. So if you write failure, there's a letter U. If you write success, there's a letter U. If you write you, there's the letter U. And that means all of those things can never happen. Whether failure or success, it cannot happen without you.
Oh, wow.
And whenever people go out there and say no to you, don't look at it. Don't look at the no as an obstacle. Look at the no as an opportunity to refine whatever it is that you have. It's an opportunity to refine your craft. So you'll find a door that is going to be shut in your face one way or the other in this lifetime. I mean, and not everybody's gonna like you. You know why?
Obviously.
You are not money. So not everybody's gonna like you. Some people are going to hate you for no reason. And for that, you need to understand that you just have to continue to work hard on your craft. You know, if you want butterflies, you don't go chasing them.
Yeah,
No. You know what you do?
Because they'll fly away.
They'll fly away because you're chasing them. No. What you need, if you need butterflies in your life, you build a beautiful garden. You water it. The flowers, will blossom. And as they blossom, the butterflies will come by themselves. So be the beautiful garden so that opportunities can come to you.
Wow. I also want to go into your other books that you have written. You've written books about marriage, and unfortunately our time is very limited again, but I would love to have you on the show again some other time, or even on one of our other shows. There's a book that you also write about marriage.
Yes.
And I think the biggest, for me personally, when I was married, as I'm divorced, was the fact that there are certain things that created the chaos in my marriage, because I couldn't find myself to tell my partner that, look, I actually went through 1, 2, 3. That's why I react the way I react, causing us then to end up not understanding each other. Could you just quickly give us a summary, or first give us the headings of all your books?
Okay, the one that you're referring to is Are You Married or Buried?
Married or buried?
Yeah, living together apart. So you were living with him in the marriage, but you are apart from him because you had some things that you were going through that he didn't know about. And I want you now to change the statement. Don't say, I am divorced. Say, I went through a divorce. You understand? Because you don't own the identity. I'm not going to look at you right now and say you are a divorcee. No, you are a person who experienced divorce, but you are not. You are not it. It's an experience that you went through. You understand? So now those are the things that we need to understand, because even when people divorce, people don't divorce because there's problems in the world. In life, we don't have problems. We have people.
And the people create the problem.
Exactly. So if you were healed at that time, the possibilities are you will not have gone through the divorce, because you will be able to react differently to the things that you were, because you were trying to just express your pain, because you have not been through those pains as yet. Right now, you are not in pain because of the divorce. No, because you've been through it. So now that is now are you married or buried? And then we have happily never after. There's people who get married to be happy, but unfortunately they picked the wrong partners. So there's people who marry wrong, and when they're inside, you know, marriage is like a fly on the window. Some want to come in, some want to go out. You understand? It's just like that. So now we need to understand that when you go and look for love, look for this love, not that love. When you get married, don't ask, who am I getting married to? But who am I getting married? What is it that I have? Because it is what you have that is going to determine the foundation and the strength of that relationship. Then you have from process to progress. This is not the journey that we go through in life. Wherever you've been and whatever you've been through does not define where you're going. It's just that book. Then you have rejection is direction. I always tell people, when people reject you, they're redirecting you to a better path. So rejection is not negative. Rejection is just that thing, the key that says, look, do better. You know, you can jump up and do better in your life. So you have love prescription. By the way, they call me the love doctor.
No, I can tell. Well, unfortunately, our time has flown so much. I would like to ask our artist just to quickly join us here on stage. Can she join us here on stage? Unfortunately, our time has been cut. Ungeza mama uzomala nami. Unfortunately, our time is so limited, and I was just getting into. I would love to invite you to our breakfast show, where we actually going to just focus on your just on your books.
Yeah, not a problem.
But now, where can they find Martin Manamela?
Very simple. Martin Speaker Manamela on Facebook. On Instagram, Martin Manamela. And Twitter, Martin the Love Doctor Manamela.
So you see yourself as the Love Doctor?
Well, that was the name that people gave me based on the fact that I was psychologically and emotionally healing them through my writing. So because I'm a bibliotherapist, so I don't just write.
Mama, where can people find you if they want to book you?
Okay, but batontola ko Facebook, ko Instagram, ko Twitter, le mo WhatsApp, vampata. Ni bitola ka kenna Roslyn Sathege ko Rose ko Facebook, le ko Instagram, ko Twitter kenna Roslyn 17 or Roslyn 17. Mo batontola.
Okay, well, Martin, it was the most, I can't even believe the hour went by so quickly. And and right here on Scars, look, if there's one show that tells it as it is, raw, do your scars define your future? Or do you use your scars to actually build yourself and to build a nation? And Love Doctor or not, I think you have so much more to offer, and not just the fact that you as a man are sharing about your experience, but also being able to teach and guide people through your experiences. We thank Martin Manamela so much for joining us, and Sis Rosalind. This is unfortunately the end of the road for us for today on Scars, and usually as I close the show, Sangena lapho kuthiwa ongene khonaga phumi saphumala Pokuthiwa akuphunywa akuphunywa yena uphumile mina ngiphumile nawe ungaphuma sanibona ngokuzayo goodbye god bless ngokuzayo goodbye god bless